Do you think COVID killed Christmas this year? Because this is the most.
Killed
This
Christmas.
this is the December. Well, usually I'm not in town in December, but this is the first time I haven't felt festive at all. Like everybody in Houston did not feel festive at all. This Christmas to New Year's.
I don't know that it was COVID.
What do you think it was?
I don't know.
I think it was global warming.
That too.
At least here in Texas.
Warming,
Honestly,
global warming in Houston killed Christmas and New Year's.
because most people, like everybody kept, I didn't feel like this when everybody was like, it's not cold enough. I was like, here's the thing though. I feel like, especially in Houston, like I say that every fucking winter and every November comes around and I'm like, it's going to be so cold and I'm not going to be able to do it. Like I hate it. And then I'm like, I know that winter doesn't fucking get here until January, February. Like, I don't know why I'm tripping. I know it's not going to be fucking cold for another, like, month and a half.
The only problem with that is, though, if you've lived in Houston for longer than 15 years, there was a time where it was cold in October. During Halloween, you couldn't, like, go out without it being fucking shivering.
That's
or,
fair.
like, or Thanksgiving, it was fucking cold. So for me, at least, I'm like expecting November. I'm expecting at least Thanksgiving to be cold, and then for it to get progressively colder all the way up until like mid-January. And by progressively, I mean like a tiny bit overall. But like this year's nothing.
Yeah. I do feel like
nothing.
most people I've heard, they're like, I wanted it to be cold, like, it didn't feel like that. Like, it was just, like, warm and, like, all this shit. I don't know, man. I don't really pay attention to stuff like that. I just like Christmas, and I get there, and I get my presents, and I call it a day.
I guess that's fair. I'm usually traveling. Like we were traveling last year, and we were out for most of December, and it was a weird year because it was 2020, and it was like everything was still like relatively closed as the farther west you got or whatever, and we went out west, but I don't know why I'm registering in my head that like things were a lot more festive before.
Yeah.
Like even during Christmas time and New Year's times, like people were hype and there was people out and like, you know, even the New Year's before that, whenever you met me up after midnight, like there was plenty of people out and there were, you know, things were happening and like people were, I mean, it was still like relatively like because there's only so much you can do. But like, I feel like the spirit of it was there. And like, this is the first year I'm like, okay, I didn't mind staying in and doing nothing, but I'm like, like I don't even feel the urge to like.
Don't think that it was COVID. I feel like I'm like, why would it be COVID? You know what I mean? When has COVID ever stopped you bitches? Like, y'all have been going out for like a whole year straight. It's like now you're gonna draw the fucking line after like 600,000 people died. Like, I know you're not.
900,000.
There we go. Like, if I go to Walmart, half of the people there are not wearing a fucking mask. You know what I mean? Is I'm like, that has never stopped y'all before. I don't think COVID stopped you now.
Well, that was originally my assumption. I'm like, oh, there's people gonna be out. There's people gonna be partying. I had a gig to do that on New Year's Eve, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's stuff going on. Like there's stuff that can happen.
To be fair, I do think that like a lot of people did. Maybe it was. I don't know. A lot of people were sick around, but I feel like people got sick after Christmas because everybody got together, and
maybe I was just at the wrong places.
Maybe.
I honestly think it's just depending on the venue that you're at. Because I also had the gig and it was packed.
You're about to be 30.
Damn, I am about to be 30. I'm about to be 30 in 2 months.
In two months?
Like 2.5 months.
Holy shit, it's January. Oh my God, you're about to be 30.
Yeah.
We're going to do a 30 birthday episode. Are we going to do a 420 episode?
Sure. We'll do whatever episodes you want. We'll do Taco Tuesday episodes. We'll do fucking guacamole Sundays. I don't care. We'll do Cinco de Mayo. The binge drinking holiday. Which one is it? St. Patrick's Day.
I've never done St.
I have to be a part of that one because St. Patrick's Day is huge in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
They make
St.
the
Patrick's
fucking river
Day
green.
is like our Mardi
I always
Gras.
forget there's a river that literally goes through like downtown.
Yeah, and they make it green.
Yeah,
That's
we paint
crazy.
it
For
green
St. Patty's Day.
We put like dye in it. We dye it green.
How the
It's
fuck
a
do you flush
huge-
that out?
I don't know.
It'll
figured it
eventually
out.
just like go itself and
Smarter people than us have figured this out.
Yeah, honestly. You'll better work.
I
in
still
Chicago.
to my detriment, I still have not had green beer in St.
Me
Patrick's
neither.
Day.
I don't
I
fucking
always
want-
just do Irish car bombs.
I
Because
didn't. There's like certain holidays. Like we celebrate Thanksgiving now, but once I moved to America, like there were certain holidays that I was like, I don't need to participate in this. Like I don't feel as strongly about this as y'all do, and so y'all have fun. But like I don't. St. Patrick's was one of them. Like, still people would be like, they'll pinch me because I'm not wearing green.
Oh yeah, I hate that shit. I'm like, I will fight you. I'm from Second Ward, Houston. You do that shit to me, we will.
I'm not from Second Ward, but I am from Venezuela, and I will beat your ass.
Same.
Don't
Same
fucking touch me.
But I'm with you there. Although St. Patrick's Day is not that. Like, if we were in Chicago, maybe that would be a different experience. Because St. Patrick's Day is pretty big out there, or New York too, because there's hella Irish people there. But
that's true.
But here, like, people don't really celebrate it like that.
Well, but like, do Irish people actually celebrate that shit? Because it feels a little bit Cinco de Mayo to me.
Well, that's the thing. Honestly, I was gonna say,
is St. Patrick's Day to Irish people what Cinco de Mayo is to Mexicans?
No, I don't think. I feel like I've heard people be like, Irish people don't celebrate this shit.
Because we don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
I feel like every other culture is like, okay, we want reasons to drink, so we're gonna like make these reasons for us to drink and like give us different parties. Where for Americans, we're like, okay, yeah, let's try to like pretend to like we're just gonna steal from other cultures the same way, you know, but like and then make up fake stuff and say that it's from a different culture.
Like,
and we're celebrating
St. Patrick's Day is like the drinking holiday or whatever, but like in Venezuela, like every holiday is just an excuse to drink.
Right.
So in my head, I'm like, okay, so it's like
in Mexico, everything is an excuse to drink.
That's
not
what
just
I'm saying.
holidays.
So I'm like, you'll need one holiday to like. I'm like, what are?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So St. Patrick's Day is to Irish people what Cinco de Mayo is to Mexicans.
I think
I feel like we do have to look that up though, because I don't know. Yeah, there may be people in Ireland that like are like, no,
like,
what the
if
heck?
We go to Ireland, if we go to Ireland in March, they're like all of Ireland is partying and shit. But I can guarantee you, Cinco de Mayo is not a thing in Mexico.
It's not a thing.
We don't give a fuck about that shit
anywhere. Like
we do not give a fuck. And like people are like, oh, white people will be like, yo, it's Independence Day, and we're like, no, that's not. That's not Independence Day at all. Like not even close.
Independence Day isn't it in like September or some shit like that?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm the bad Mexican when it comes to that shit. But I just know that like never in the history of my life living with full Mexican parents have they been like, it's this week is Cinco de Mayo, like we have to prepare. Like what are you talking about?
I'm trying to find a Reddit page about St. Patrick's Day.
That's the
Do people actually celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Ireland?
Bless us.
Somebody said, I hate Dublin on St. Patrick's Day. It's horrible. Kids falling around drunk, puking, fights, and later on in the evening. So they do.
In Ireland? Oh,
yes,
okay.
we all go to mass. Some lads on... What? Some of the lads on... I don't know what the fuck that says. Their mass marathon this year trying to beat the previous 7 masses. That's crazy.
What actually is it though?
Off.
It's for, so I mean it's St. Patrick's Day, so it's for a saint.
So I guess.
But then what is the point of everybody being like, we're celebrating a religion, let's get drunk?
Who the hell is St. Patrick? Is he what is he the saint of?
I don't know.
Drinking?
I can tell you though.
Is he the saint of drinking?
Maybe it's luck.
Oh.
Maybe I don't know.
Which honors Ireland's
because of the Irish
patron saint.
It's just the patron saint of Ireland.
I guess.
Oh, so they're just going hard for the homie.
St. Patrick, he wasn't Irish, but he found his faith while being held as prisoner by a group of Irish raiders. What?
So they're just making up. So
he's one of Christianity. Hey, history, fuck off. He's one of Christianity's most widely known figures, but for all of his prevalence in culture, and namely the holiday held on the day of his death, his life remains somewhat of a mystery.
Damn. So St. Patrick's Day is just Irish people feeling bad about the fact that they killed some saint. And they're like, you know what, bro? We're just gonna immortalize you forever.
Pour one out for the homie.
And we're gonna pour one out for you every single anniversary of your death.
He had miracles. It says St. Patrick's visions and miracles. After more than 6 years as prisoner, he escaped. Apparently, according to his writing, a voice, which he believed to be God, spoke to him in a dream, telling him that it was time to leave Ireland. To do so, he walked in nearly 200 miles from the County Mayo, where it is believed he was held to the Irish coast after escaping Britain. Patrick reported that he experienced a second revelation. An angel in a dream tells him to return to Ireland as a missionary. And then he began religious training. What the fuck? So how did this turn in? Well, Irish people just like to drink. I was gonna say.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day is just Irish. It's just all of Ireland being like, yo, my bad. We didn't mean to do that.
Hey, who the fuck is Sydney from Discover? Do you know who Sydney from Discover is?
It's probably some front desk worker.
They just texted me and said,
We gotta edit that for sure.
I will not be in town March 14 through 16.
And they want you to cover
for me?
Oof.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
I hope they don't watch this fucking podcast.
all Ireland is just pouring one out for the homie during St. Patrick's Day because they're like, yo, my bad, we didn't mean to do that for you. 200 miles?
I don't know what that is. I don't know how much. Like, I couldn't tell you what 200 miles is.
That's like from here to like
Austin? No, like before Austin.
It's like from here to like Amarillo maybe.
The fuck is Amarillo?
It's like West Texas, like high up north maybe, something like that.
That's crazy.
How long does it take to get to Austin?
Austin,
like
Texas
3
is
hours?
149 miles away.
Oh, okay, so maybe from like here to Dallas maybe.
Further than Austin?
Dallas
From
is
Houston?
226 miles.
Okay, so from here, so he walked
Fuck
from here to Dallas essentially.
You're fucking kidding.
How long did that must have taken months?
You know what? I will drink to him.
Dude, you gotta drink to the homie.
It's like respect. I will drink.
Okay,
to
well
you.
then
I will wear green.
In
this
that
St.
in that
Patrick's.
respect, it's not like Cinco de Mayo because some shit actually happened on St. Patrick's Day. That's the
But like,
that's
what
the
happened?
anniversary.
That's the day that he died.
That's the day that he died, and they're just
You know
and
how
they-
many
and-
fucking people
and
have
they
been held prisoner? Why do we have a day
I know, but
after
they feel
him?
bad about it. They're like, yo, we fucked up a saint. Like
You said, I know, but the Irish have a conscience.
yeah, they
Some of us don't.
They feel
so.
bad about it because they're just like, yo, we really fucked up this saint, and most of them are Catholic, right? Irish Catholics. Is
Yeah.
them. So it's like
Dang.
a whole little section of it. So yeah, and Cinco de Mayo, the Mexicans just look at white people with hats, and you're like, yo, you're fucking ridiculous.
That is crazy.
That's fucking wild.
Good for them. I guess I will wear green this fucking St. Patrick's if I remember.
Just do an Irish carbo. I still don't do the green thing. I'm just like, don't fucking touch me, bro.
I will wear green on St. Patrick's
just
Day.
don't have
I don't
anything
do the whole
green.
pinching thing. That's strange.
That is weird, especially when it's a stranger. It's like, why are you touching
Yeah.
people?
Yeah,
But
people would do
then-
that shit at like bars and shit, and I'm like, yo, bro, don't do that.
It's interesting.
She doesn't
to
know
me
you.
that
Don't do that.
in Chicago, like I didn't even know. Like I knew Mardi Gras only as a thing of like in New Orleans they have the whole parade
Yeah.
for it. But I didn't know like what it was or like I guess it's a part of like Fat Tuesday, which I didn't know what Fat
Yeah.
Tuesday. I didn't know what a king cake was. I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
like little babies. And
Oh,
all
yeah,
that.
me
Like,
neither.
I was so confused when I came down here. I was like, all this is related. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I also don't know what Mardi Gras is, but I feel like I've
like
seen it
St.
so much
Patrick's
that
Day.
I'm like, sure.
But like St. Patrick's Day, though, people from New Orleans like to get fucked up. So like,
Yeah.
And that's the real way to do like Mardi Gras.
That's a real
only
thing
in
that
New Orleans. Like
unites
nobody's gonna
us
celebrate
all.
Mardi Gras anywhere else.
Yeah.
They have one in Chicago. They have one in Galveston, and I'm just like, what are y'all doing?
What the
y'all,
fuck?
Y'all are light mayo. Like, what's going on right now?
But do you know what Mardi Gras is?
It stands for Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, and like so Fat Tuesday is what is it? It's the day right before Lent or something, or the Tuesday before Lent. So it's like Fat
Oh,
Tuesday
so
is
you
the day
just-
that like you like indulge in all of your vices basically, and then
That
Ash
makes
Wednesday
so much
comes, that's the day
fucking
that you
sense.
yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Mardi
See,
Gras
that tracks for me.
Mardi Gras is the day you get to do one of the 7 deadly sins, because gluttony is.
That
is the
literally
7 deadly
sounds
sins.
so. Is it a Catholic or a Christian?
I mean, I don't
thing.
know if it's an actual like religious holiday that you're supposed to, because I would assume
Well, because
that in the
it's
religion
not a
you're like
religious holiday anymore, like Christmas.
No, it's not a religious holiday.
But
It's
like,
just a celebration.
if it's before Lent, not everybody celebrates Lent or like
Yeah,
practices Lent.
it's only Catholics, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Do
'Cause
Christians do
don't
Lent?
Only Catholics be showing up with the.
That's
Yeah,
what
a
I
little
fucking
ash.
thought. And I was about to say that makes so much fucking sense. They were like, we're gonna do all of this shit now.
Mardi Gras is
but in a
is-
week.
Mardi Gras
It's
is the
gonna be fun.
purge for your stomach.
yeah.
Mardi
Fucking
Gras is
Catholics,
like
man.
the government saying like, yo,
The government.
or the religious government being like, yo, like
religious government.
the
The
seven, like
Vatican.
gluttony, the Vatican, yeah, the gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins, and you're not supposed to like really like overeat or because that's whatever. But on this day, go ham.
That's like confession when they're like, I'm gonna say all of my sins now and then I'll get to heaven. Which is like, how the fuck do you figure that?
Yeah.
You still did them.
And
It's
then
the
it-
same thing.
And then it kind of makes everything like super weird whenever you realize that they used to like pay to get forgiven. Be like, yo, I'll give you like $10. Like
So Mardi Gras is actually just the French name for Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It stands
Yeah.
for Fat Tuesday.
And it's the custom of using all the fats in the home before Lent in preparation for fasting and abstinence. So it's like, yo, get all of that stuff out the house.
That's what I'm saying. It's the purge. It's just it's just like the movie The Purge, except not killing people, just for your stomach. Get all your carbs out. Get all your carbs. Eat all your desserts. Fucking clean out the pantry.
You know what always just like confused me about the purge? Like I was like, why are you killing people? Like why were they like, hey, all crime is like forgiven for the next 24 hours, and people were like, cool, I'm gonna go massacre people.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I will be shoplifting like crazy.
Well, I think the issue then comes in, like, I'm sure there are people that are out there that do want to do that, but would you risk going out when there are crazy people out there that like are only going out because they want to kill?
Right, but that's where I'm like, why are you fucking this up for me?
Right.
I could be getting so much new shit, and I can't because you crazy bitches are trying to kill your boss. Take it up to HR.
Quit.
Like, quit.
Quit your
Get
job.
another fucking job. Well, like, what's your issue?
Yeah. I'd have been trying to
They
figure out.
said no crime. You said murder.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
I'd have been like, no crime. I should really learn how to hack this year. So I can just be like, yo, the bank.
Dead ass.
Let me transfer some money
You know
real
how much
quick.
clothes I would
It's
get?
like insider trading or some shit. I'd have been on some white collar crimes for sure.
Let me get rid of that house loan.
Yeah. It's like, let me go ahead and like
Dead
not have
ass.
to pay a mortgage real quick. Like, that's what I would do, all from behind my computer. Unless they shut all
what
that
I'm
shit down. Unless they
saying.
shut all the Wi-Fi down, in which case
It's
I'm
like,
like,
what?
fuck.
You have to like deal with somebody that is annoying. Big fucking deal. You could literally save all, like, you could like, what's the word I'm looking for? Fix all of your like financial problems.
Oh, and then think of it
In
this
a
way, though.
day.
What happens if you go out and you're like, okay, I want to steal, and you decide to start stealing from people?
Switch it.
Not
switch
from
it, switch It, switch
people.
it before you start. That way it's not black the entire time.
But no, if you're stealing, but what I'm saying, like if you're stealing from people, businesses, whatever, let's say you go and steal from a business, and then somebody at that business, the manager or something, decides to come back because you screwed them over, and now next time the purge comes around.
Well, I'm
they're
thinking
trying
like corporations, and they don't care.
Yeah,
You
they
know
got
what I mean?
insurance.
It's
all
like
good.
they have insurance, and like they already get shoplifted all the fucking time.
Yeah, and they got insurance.
They
but
don't
also,
care.
don't you think the big corporations and the people that have that much money, they show like in the movies when they like the people that have that much money have the money to lock their shit down too.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's gonna
yeah,
be a
yeah.
lot harder to get into a Walmart because they're gonna be like,
Sure.
yo,
They'll probably just.
That's true, but where there's a will, there's a way.
That's true. Where there's a will,
There's a way.
there's a way.
Where there's a Juan, there's a way.
Oh, I would have figured that shit out immediately.
100%.
I'd have been like, yo,
You'll be the first person
let's
I come
figure-
to if there's a purge.
for real.
Probably.
I don't know what I would do immediately, but I'd be like, yo, like,
I mean,
me
even if
figure
we
something
weren't
out.
participating, I would just be like, well, if I'm gonna be inside for this long, let us,
it's
party.
just one night, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
24 hours.
It's just 24 hours.
But
Oh,
24
yeah.
hours is
That's a long time. It's a long time of anxiety.
That's
If
what
you're
I
not-
mean.
If you're not trying to like
Like if it's like, it's not just like you're in your house for 24 hours. It's like you're in your house and there's people dying out there. You know?
And imagine the cleanup afterwards.
No.
Like the cleanup afterwards. Like
Yeah,
the ne-
like do
the
they
next
have like
day,
if you kill somebody in the purge, like do you also have to like make sure that you bury the body,
Right,
or do
and-
you leave that shit in the street?
and
'Cause
knowing
that's mad disrespectful.
knowing how the U.S. government is, like, do they capitalize on the purge and be like, the purge has created 600,000 jobs with like cleanup crews and like security companies
For
and like all this
sure.
shit. You know the U.S. is gonna be like,
They'll probably be like,
yo,
anyone who
like, now
doesn't
there's-
participate, I will give you like
Right.
$200
And on top of that, they'll double
too.
down in like any fucking like bodies that they find like in the middle of the street and shit. They'll like do forensic analysis on all of them and keep tabs on everybody that did some crazy shit, so that when the fucking law gets repealed or some shit, they'll just go find your ass. Like, yo, like
damn.
we know what you did on like 2017.
Well,
during-
that's in the
during day.
movies. They do say that the whole reason that they're doing it is so that they can, like, it's population control
Yeah.
because there are like too many people, and it's like, oh, the purge is so good. It like it
But
keeps the
also,
population
The
low.
US
and,
would
like,
do
also
some
trying to
bullshit
control
like
like
that.
crime. Like they're like, if we give
Yeah.
them this, if we give them,
like
my accent is
carnaval.
coming out crazy. If we give them this one night where they can do whatever, then they won't feel the need to do it every other day. So it technically brings crime down. But I'm like, are we doing this at Texas for that night? Because you know what I mean? Like I'm like,
Yeah, that's not a thing. I don't think it would work.
The
But
math
it's the
is
same.
not
It's the
mathing.
same. Isn't that what happens in Carnaval in Brazil? Like that,
What?
like carnavales. It's not like crime free, but it's supposed to be a day. I could be dead wrong about this, but it's supposed to
feel
be.
like you're dead
It's supposed to
wrong.
be a day where like you go and you like you find like the people that you've wronged or that have wronged you, and y'all talk it out, or like if y'all have to fight or whatever. But like it's like a sin
What?
day where like you get to go and like experience all of your sin, or it's quote unquote sin. Obviously they don't take it as like, you know, so literal, and it's not about
Yeah.
crime or whatever. But then that's so that like they feel like they have a day of getting it all out.
I don't think that's true.
Somebody fact check me, because that's
Because we do carnaval in Venezuela, and like it's probably not the same thing, obviously.
yeah. I think it might just be
But-
Brazil, but somebody look that up, because
What is it?
No, it's
Cano-
also like like the
Carnaval.
Friday afternoon before Ash Wednesday.
Carnaval Brazil. And that's why
also
they have
has to
like
do with
punta
Lent.
dances. They have like punta dances and stuff, and they do a lot of like, you know, there's like parades.
No,
and
Carnaval is just like Mardi Gras. It's like
okay,
it's like
okay.
also before Lent, and everybody just like, you know, it's a
Oh.
wild celebration of food, alcohol, music, and fun.
I could have
It's
sworn there
held
was.
annually a few days before the start of Lent, the 40-day period of fasting abstinence. Yeah, it's just
Okay, I'm tripping then. Don't
like,
don't
what
listen
the
to me.
fuck are you
I coulda
talking
sworn
about?
I could have sworn I saw something that was all like, yo, there's like a festival
No.
of some sort where people go and like
I mean,
do.
I do remember
it,
hearing that, but I thought it
maybe.
was in a different country.
it might
in,
be a
like,
different
Europe.
country. I might be just half wrong. I mean, it's not Brazil. It might just be like some other
you
random.
said Carnaval is like the purge. I can't.
Yo, I don't know. I it popped into my head. I'll find it and I'll
That's
bring it back.
crazy.
I'll bring it back up as some obscure episode of the podcast. It'd be like, remember that one? Remember the first episode where I said this? This is what I was
That's
talking
so
about.
crazy.
And I'll bring it back. What time is it?
2:30.
Oh, are we
Yeah.
done?
Maybe.
First episode? Done?
what
When
do we
you have to
do
go?
here?
No.
Whatever. Well,
First
thank you.
episode's done.
The first episode is done.
That was great. How long is that?
An hour and a half. Hour 28 minutes.
Wow.
Perfect.
Nice. Good job, guys.
Good job.
Wow.
Let's tune in for next
Episode
time,
2.
because we'll be
What
back.
are we gonna be talking about?
Who knows?
You'll
Also,
have to listen to find out.
Also, tune in to all the episodes that we're going to be bringing forth, because it's not just going to be talking. We're going to develop this into a show potentially where we are going to have games and challenges and segments that you
a lot
guys
of
can all
drinking.
fully enjoy. You'll see us probably drink and have some wild conversations. So, hope you guys like it. Tune back in.